Hello everybody and welcome to the only show on the internet where two dudes sit on a couch, drink beer, and talk about the latest news in tech.
Hello.
We're your hosts. Your beer is not even open.
I thought you were going to open my beer. Well, that's embarrassing.
It happens.
Ugh.
So, how'd you go this week?
Great. Yeah, we've got some news. Some things happened. Something that caught my eye today, actually, was a new streaming platform. I don't know if this is coming out in the, beyond the US, but it's a platform called Quibi, I think.
Quibi?
Wait, is that correct? Did I get that right? It's a short form video service. So it's around like mobile friendly content is the idea. And the reason why, it's Quibi. It's
so short. Like something like TikTok?
I don't think it's that short. The reason I'm reading about this is because apparently Steven Spielberg, the critically acclaimed director of cinema content, has sort of announced that he's putting out a show and on this platform. Okay. And not only that, like he's actually writing the show, which apparently he doesn't do very often. So he's super excited about telling a scary story, apparently.
On a TikTok like streaming app?
Yeah, I don't think it's that extreme. I think it's more like 7 to 10 minute episodes.
Steven Spielberg is directing a TikTok video.
Yep, that's what I'm reading. No, it's like 7 to 10 minute episodes, I think is what they're talking about on this platform. And the idea is to sort of like challenge the way that TV episodes are kind of created, because they have they're either like 20 something minutes or they're 40 something minutes.
Or
and
an
that's
hour.
Kind of the standard.
Yeah.
Because then they add ads into those to make it a half an hour or an hour. But these ones are designed for like consumption on smartphones, just out and about.
Yep. That's cool. That's really cool.
I don't think it's the first time that this like idea has been floated, and there's been people that have tried to sort of do this, but they've got like more than $1 billion in funding backing this venture.
Nice.
And
that's a lot of money.
Yeah, Steven Spielberg making something for it is probably not going to be ignored.
Well, he's getting paid, probably.
Yeah.
Or he's invested in it.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, but the actual interesting part about this, it's not just Steven Spielberg making a thing. Apparently this show, he wanted to make something scary. So this show, you can only watch it at nighttime.
That's cool. That's awesome. Like there's so many things you can do with TV shows and just the medium and the technology that we have today. And things like that are really great. I love hearing about stories like that because just there's no-brainers like that you can only watch a movie at a certain time. Or it can be like a movie that you can only watch at like 12:30 because it's about something crazy that happens at 12:30.
If it's like exciting and people like it, then I can imagine someone like Netflix wanting to do a mechanic like that because they've experimented with interactive TV and
that's another thing. I'm surprised they're not
schedules.
Putting out more of that interactive TV stuff.
I imagine it's really hard to produce.
Yeah, but Game of Thrones is hard to produce.
Have you watched?
They're literally shooting it on multiple continents.
Have you watched the
or where shooting?
What's the Bear Grylls one?
No.
Did you know that there's an interactive Bear Grylls?
I've heard about it.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's on my list.
Is it on Netflix?
Haven't played it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So apparently this platform, like, there's been a lot of video platforms that have sort of started up and shut down apparently over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a lot more in the US than there are here in Australia. But this one has got like apparently 8 super premium shows coming to it. And its price is positioned cheaper than the others. It's if you're okay with ads, you pay $4.99 US a month, or
that's cheap.
$7.99 with no ads. So they're coming in like just under everybody else, basically. It's bite-sized. So maybe that will strike a chord.
I said that's cheap, but then I remembered that it's 10-minute videos.
Yeah, per
So it's not
episode.
it's not the same sort of
You could still
in-depth content that Netflix can offer.
not necessarily. It could be like that there are 10 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there's like 20 episodes, but they're 10 minutes long. So you still get like a decent length thing in total.
So when is it launching?
I don't know.
This fall?
I actually don't know. Let's see.
2020? Doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's in the US, so I'm going to guess it's not going to come here until,
Yeah.
or come out outside of the US unless it's successful. But it sounds like it's completely original, so maybe it will be actually easier for them to get that out.
It's easier to, scale original content because I think it was really hard for Netflix to go international because they had all these deals with movie companies.
Yeah.
It's a legal nightmare.
April 2020, apparently.
Cool.
Just confirmed with my source.
Soon enough. Yeah. All right. So my story this week. It was a really slow news week for me. Didn't really read a lot, but what I read a lot about is this one story which I extensively read about.
Right.
So this is what I'm going to share with you
Let's
now.
hear it.
The Uber Air.
Uber Air.
Have you heard about it?
I did see this particular headline.
Yeah. So
Being
the
some
headline, this
local
one
news.
the one that I'm looking at right now, it says Uber Air picks Melbourne as its first international launch city. What it doesn't tell you is that they have 2 cities in the US already scheduled. And those are Dallas and LA, I think. Yeah, LA. So the deal is that, you know how you order cabs on your phone?
Yeah.
Well, soon you're going to be able to order a flying taxi. We've talked about flying taxis before in this show. But I think this one is more real just because Uber is doing it and they gave us some dates. For example, they want to do the first demo flight in 2020. And they want to actually have the first commercial flight in 2013.
2013? 2023?
Yes. Yes.
They built a time machine.
2023. And the deal is this. They are electrical vertical takeoff and landing things.
Yeah.
So
like the ones we
talked about last time. And they put out a video in which they show it's a concept video of these things.
Yeah.
And they're also going to build these skyport things. They call them skyport. And those are going to be on top of buildings or on top of parking lots or on top of highways. We have some concept photos of those too. So recently, actual architectural firms, tendered for this or submitted their ideas. And these are the concept photos of these.
I wonder if Uber would be willing to share those with others.
They're saying like the whole space is structured like they have scooters downstairs, they have food venues, and they have helicopters at the top.
Because the beauty of like Uber was they didn't need any infrastructure. They kind of just rolled in and people brought their own cars.
Yeah.
Here, this looks like a whole lot of infrastructure.
This is a totally different story because they're building these things in metropolitan cities. They're actually designing and building the flying vehicles with vendors such as NASA and, they're collaborating. Boeing. So they're going to own the buildings. They're going to own the flying things. So it's a totally different business model for them.
Oh, yeah.
But it's interesting. It's interesting because by the looks of it, it might actually happen.
Yeah.
Sooner
They're a
than
very ambitious
imagined.
company. And you would think that given they've just become a public company as well, they would probably want to be like working on stuff that they can actually action.
Mhm.
So, but I'm confused because I read something about some news that was out the other day about helicopters from Uber. Is that the same service?
No, because I think they've done helicopters in the past in some other cities like Dubai.
Because they're launching that in New York.
Yeah,
You're going to be able to fly from Manhattan to JFK Airport.
that's a different story.
So why do you think they would?
Helicopters are expensive.
Yeah.
They're traditional helicopters, and they're expensive to run. And I think I read a headline today. I didn't actually read the article that said Uber Air is going to cost less than owning a car.
if you use it twice a year.
They're going for cheap, affordable flight with this one.
Really?
Whereas helicopter is more like geared toward the rich people. And
yeah, because the helicopter stuff I saw, I forget what it was called. It might have been called. I thought it might have been called Uber Air, but anyway, it's something like $220 to
yeah, sounds about right.
go between the airport and the city and in New York. And some people were kind of discussing it in the comments and being like, trying to come up with reasons why you would justify spending that money. It's kind of like, because you're only going to save maybe half an hour or 45 minutes. It's something like it would take you an hour normally by other transport.
Mm-hmm.
So it is definitely something, it sounds like it's for the rich, but I'm more interested in these like VTOL vehicles, vertical takeoff and landing, because it's just more sci-fi, right? It's like,
it is more sci-fi.
A new class of
here's some photos
vehicle.
Of what it might actually look like from the inside.
Mm.
So it's custom designed for Uber. So they're not repurposing a helicopter. So this is all specifically designed for this experience. That's what's cool about it.
It looks more like sorry, sort of like a limo interior or something. That's not like the interior of a helicopter, which is I don't know, got like stuff hanging from the sides and all that.
So it seats 4 people, and you're going to be able to fly from one sky port or whatever they call it to another. And in large metropolitan areas during peak hour traffic, that's probably going to save you hours if you fly directly.
It's probably Uber Pool by default, right?
I don't know.
You don't want to get
But in this concept video, they show you this lady goes into a high rise, walks into the elevator, and they have a little logo, Uber logo next to the floor number.
Yeah.
Goes to the roof, scans the phone, and gets on one of these
things.
So
what I think is interesting about this is it's focusing on the overall experience rather than the technology. Kind of like, so previously when we talked about this, the news was that there was a company that was trying to build one of these vehicles, and they, I think, had ambitions to do what Uber is doing here. But the news was just like the fact that all like the engineering team were celebrating because they'd like successfully took off and landed. I don't know if maybe there's something fundamental about the way those vehicles are built, like what they're striving for versus what Uber is striving for. But that doesn't even seem to be part of the conversation here at this point. They're just giving you like the marketing, like the experience of being that kind of traveler.
So I think that means they're over that bit, and
maybe, or
they
just don't want you to think about it.
Yeah,
they want to get more.
And their tagline is closer
backing
than you think, and that's actually what I thought about it.
Yeah,
because a lot of people have dreamed about this. A lot of people wanted to do it, but it was always this far away thing that seemed kind of impossible.
Yeah, I think I saw possibly the first comment on the article I saw about the helicopter one was somebody just being like, lol, this will never happen.
Yeah. And
which is a popular opinion, I suppose. You should probably stop and think about it a little bit more, see if, on a longer time scale, is something like that feasible? I suspect what Uber will get out of this is a few cities kind of like throwing their support behind it and just being like, hey, can we be the next city?
That's the thing that they're going for, because they have big trouble getting their taxi business into some cities because they were outlawed and there wasn't any legislation.
The cities are like, no, please, not us next.
And now they're totally like flipping it around and saying, okay, what cities in the world would want to work with us to make this possible? Like, what governments would want to closely cooperate with us to let this happen? And that's a better approach, I think. And now they've earned the right to say that with what they achieved with their cab business. So it's cool. Let's wait and see.
So yeah, okay, yeah, right. Well, that is. So this is perhaps a good segue into my next story, because this is a future that we are struggling to kind of like understand now or imagine like actually happening. And you can just, when someone throws this idea at you, there's sort of like two thoughts. One is like, I just can't really picture that. I can't imagine a society that has these things flying around. And the other is kind of like, there are too many technical reasons why this will just not work anytime soon. You know, these planes are going to fall out of the sky or whatever. So something else that is like, gets talked about every now and then and people have worked on, and yet gets kind of dismissed a little bit as maybe, but not anytime soon, cloud gaming.
Cloud gaming.
Yes. So you own a gaming console.
I do.
Possibly a couple.
Yep.
I own a gaming console or two as well. And lately, well, this week has been the E3 Expo, which is the electronics. Actually, I've completely forgotten what that stands for. Everyone just calls it E3. It's the big gaming expo that happens this time of year.
3 words that start with E, right?
Yeah, that's the idea.
Makes sense.
And one of the big things that's interesting and new this year is Google has entered the competition, and they are going big on cloud gaming. So they've introduced a product called Google Stadia, and it's pretty ambitious. It's basically like, imagine you have a really high-end PC that is capable of playing games that look ridiculous. They've got incredible graphics, great sound, all that stuff, except that you didn't have to buy that machine. It's somewhere else in the cloud.
You're just streaming it.
And you're streaming it. And you kind of connect to it, you send your control commands to it, and it sends back like just video, which gets put on your screen. And that's been part of the like discussion for years, because people have been like, I guess there's a chance that we can move to that future, but also at the same time, internet is a problem.
Latency.
Yeah, latency in particular, and just bandwidth in general as well. But here we are, 2019, Google is saying now's the time. And so this product, what it is it's basically a controller. You buy the controller, and as far as I understand, the controller connects to the internet and sends your inputs, and also
your location
receives
and
oh yeah, who knows what else, and receives the video, and then to get it onto your TV, it talks to something else that's already plugged into your TV. Like, for example, you could have a Chromecast. I don't know exactly. I'm not a Chromecast guy, but it may just be like the newest one that can do this. Apparently Pixelbooks can do it. And Pixelbooks? Chromebooks? One of those. And the new Pixel phone. So that's pretty weird, because then you can play like a big screen game experience on a really small screen if you want to, and you get the same graphical fidelity just because it's rendered elsewhere. So it's pretty weird. They're basically saying, don't buy a console anymore, buy this thing, buy this controller.
So it's out? I can go buy this now?
It will be out in November, apparently.
Okay.
Worldwide, I think. So what they're doing to launch
the specs are now like your internet speed.
Basically, yeah. So that's where a lot of the like skepticism is about at this point, and it hasn't been proven. And I guess we'll just have to see like when people actually buy it and try it out. But there's like a slider or like a bunch of information on their website that helps you figure out like what kind of resolution you're going to be able to get with your internet speed. They're pretty adamant that they want the frame rate to be solid at like 60 FPS. And I would agree that's pretty important. At least keeping it consistent, but preferably around 60 or higher.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to compromise on that.
You'd think that, but like PS4 Pro has like settings that you can crank up the resolution to 4K, and then you get like a crappy frame rate. And some people are into that for some reason. Crazy people. So I guess what about this is kind of like, it's confusing how the price model sort of works. Or you're used to the idea that you buy the console, plug it into your TV, and then you buy games.
This is going to be a subscription, right?
It is. And a lot of people were thinking it was going to be like, oh, it's Netflix, but for games. But it's actually closer to what the model currently is with PlayStation Network or Xbox Live, where you pay a subscription, but you also don't have to. And if you pay a subscription, you get like extra features and free games from time to time. So the deal is you still buy games. You buy games from Google. And if you have a subscription to this thing, then you're going to get, one thing you get is 4K resolution instead of 1080p. So if your internet can handle that.
If your internet is good enough, yeah.
Yeah. And you will also get, free games from time to time. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
I think
it would be cool if they switched that,
probably save money.
Switch that up as well, so that it was like Netflix for games. That would have made more sense to me.
Would you rather do that?
Yeah, pay $10 and play anything I want.
Yeah, it's complicated because you don't want to take too much money away from the developers, or like the opportunity away from developers to make money, and that's what's kind of been questionable about the Apple gaming service that they announced as well, is because that's what theirs is, right? It's just a straight up subscription. Yeah, but you can't play everything. You've got to. It's up to the developers to opt in.
Like nobody's complaining that we're taking away money from movie studios or whatever, right? With Netflix and all of that, they're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know if you can compare those things.
Don't they have like similar budgets? A game and a big budget movie?
I can't comment on that. Don't know. All I know is that making games is hard. And often they don't get the return they need or that they're hoping for, because
I guess
people are less and less inclined to pay for things like that. But yeah, so this will be extremely interesting to see how this kind of shakes out. And it's been such a big deal that Microsoft and Sony recently like got together and schemed about how to like combat this, and they're actually in a bit of a partnership.
Wow.
And I think it's a partnership with Azure. Like it's a
okay, yeah.
Because Sony doesn't have the right like cloud technology to do that.
Cloud thing, yeah.
I think. So yeah, speaking of Microsoft, the other news out of E3 that's worth mentioning, very briefly, because it's actually not very interesting, is Microsoft is coming out with a new Xbox at some point, but they didn't show us anything about it. They basically just said it's exactly the same as a PlayStation 5 in terms of its specs. They didn't say that, but you can read the list and they're almost identical.
I saw an article saying Microsoft teases 8K Xbox.
Yeah, it's the 8K thing. It's the SSD for faster loading times. 3D sound probably. Yeah. So that's kind of the gaming news that's relevant.
Interesting. Yeah, that's cool. Looking forward to that. Take my internet for a test drive.
Yeah, I think you can probably handle it. I suspect if you can handle 4K Netflix, which you should be able to on your connection.
I don't have 4K Netflix.
Have you tried it?
No.
Why not?
Because you got to pay more for it.
Oh yeah. Oh, do you have a 4K TV?
I guess. Is that TV 4K TV?
Don't know. It's turned off. Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe while we've got some small amount of remaining time, unless you've got anything you want to add.
No, I have nothing.
Nothing. I have nothing. Okay, so an amusing story that I saw.
I like amusing stories.
It's amusing mainly because how people have reacted to it. And yeah, so the headline is, Walmart employees will soon deliver groceries directly into your fridge. So
like the Amazon thing.
Yeah, this is obviously like a US thing that's happening as well. All the crazy interesting things happen in the US first, apparently. Walmart's kind of like competing a bit with what Amazon's doing, or they're being at each other's throat there. And it's basically somehow you get to authorize a Walmart employee who you don't know to let themselves into your house. And there's no details on how that happens, like specifically what technology you might need to be able to like do this.
From that GIF over there, I noticed this Walmart dude rocks up to the front door.
Yeah.
Pulls out the app and the door unlocks, probably like a smart lock thing that the Amazon was doing.
Yeah, but like who has the smart lock? Maybe you've got to install the lock into your door first.
That's what Amazon was doing. They were doing the locks that you could unlock remotely. Yeah.
That's quite a
see
investment.
That part.
Yeah.
It just locks in.
Anyway, so these people are also fitted with like body cams, which you can watch in real time. So it's kind of like, it seems a bit unnecessarily like convenient here.
I'm just imagining scenarios again in my head. All the things that can go wrong with this.
Yeah, so you want to see the comments here? Cracked me up. Nope.
Nope.
No, they won't. And nope. Please don't give the megacorps the access to your house. Yeah. So,
it's basically everybody saying nope.
Yeah. And people are pointing out
great reception.
Yeah.
I mean, you know you've made a product that everybody will love.
Possibly some of these people haven't read the article. Because these staff apparently get like extensive training on how to behave and all that. But as people have pointed out, just because you have access to one person to come in and you can see what's in front of them through the body cam doesn't mean you can see who's coming in behind them.
Yeah, or underneath them, like crawling.
Yeah.
Like they have their friend crawling underneath and they just let them in, and then they have free access to your house and they pee on your bed sheets or something.
But apparently you can leave like if you buy something and then you decide you don't want it, you can leave it on your counter and it gets picked up.
Or you accidentally leave something valuable on the counter.
Yeah, and that'll be returned as well.
Yeah. I just don't understand why do you need people to come in to your fridge?
Yeah.
Like, why not?
Because
you're not at home, right?
So this is a step further than Amazon, who I think was just they're trying to deliver into your garage and stuff like that. I think they're motivated by like getting it out of like harm's way.
I have a genius idea. A mini fridge that's actually outside of your house.
Yeah. With a smart lock.
Hmm.
There you go. Or just like doing your own groceries.
Yeah.
The old-fashioned way.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's it.
That is all we have time for.
It's been a hoot.
Until next time.
All right, we'll see you next time. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell and all that stuff. We'll see you next week.
See ya.